any definition, Koreans are the undisputed masters of Far East Asian barbecue. Whether it's kalbi, dakgalbi, or dweji kalbi, Koreans have mastered the art of beef, chicken, and pork barbecue over millennia. But in more recent times, magazines such as Self and Cooks Illustrated have sang the praises of Korean barbecue to American audiences. So Americans are now flocking to Korean restaurants all over the United States to catch the Korean wave of Asian barbecue. Americans who want to learn how to make these foods rush to the local bookstore looking through the Korean cookbooks currently on the market, and they don't know what to do because some of the ingredients are hard to obtain and even harder to pronounce. The September 2008 edition of Self magazine briefly described a, quote, secret ingredient to Korean barbecue. The so-called secret to Korean barbecue is really not a secret at all, at least not to Koreans. Even Cooks Illustrated figured it out. What is it? The secret to Korean barbecue is pear juice, but not just any kind of pear. What you're going to use is this kind of pear, which is either called an Asian pear, Korean pear. In Japanese it's called nashi, or the most common term in the United States is apple pear. Now these are, as you can tell, they're larger than your typical European pears that you'll find in the States, but they're also a lot juicier. And so what you do is you peel this, then we'll grate it, and we'll put it into our kalbi marinade. And what this will do for us is not only will it make the kalbi sweet, it will also marinate the beef and tenderize it as well. Here's a basic recipe for kalbi. 3 pounds of lean beef ribs with the bone, 1 Korean pear, which has been peeled and grated, a half a cup of soy sauce, a half a cup of rice wine, you can either use soju or sake, 3 tablespoons of sugar, or the equivalent of an alternate sweetener such as Splenda, stevia, or honey, 2 to 3 green onions, chopped, 5 cloves of garlic minced, 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil, 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame seeds, a pinch of salt, a tablespoon of ground black pepper, and for an optional kick you can put in an inch of freshly grated ginger. If there's no Korean grocery store nearby, you can still find Korean-style beef ribs, but you need to ask your butcher the right questions. In English, the cut of the rib that you need for this recipe is called flanken. Ask the butcher to cut the ribs approximately 1/4 of an inch thick. If the butcher makes them a little bit thicker, don't worry about it too much. Just adjust your cooking time accordingly. Marinate the ribs for at least an hour. I use a gallon-sized freezer bag for this task. Now to cook the ribs, you can either grill them outside on a barbecue grill or cook them indoors in your oven's broiler. To broil the ribs, preheat the broiler. Lightly brush the pan with vegetable oil and set it about 6 inches from the heat source, which is usually at the top of your oven. Depending on the size of your pan, you can either cook them all at once or in batches. Cook them for 5 to 6 minutes on one side, turn them over and cook them for another 2 to 3 minutes. Keep a close eye on the ribs to make sure they don't burn. The natural sugar in the pear puree and what other sugars you may have put in, like honey or whatever, will also burn very easily, so you really do have to keep a close eye on this. I hope that this little tutorial on the benefits and the advantages of using the Asian pear in your cooking inspires you to create your own authentic Korean barbecue. Thank you for watching.